Please welcome the Chief Astronomer and Director of the Fells Planetarium at the Franklin Institute, Derrick Pitts.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome to Mazzoni Center Honors. I'm Derrick Pitts. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm Chief Astronomer at the Franklin Institute Science Museum. Since the beginning of time, humans have gazed into the night sky with awe, wonder, and fear, all born of not knowing what the twinkling lights of the night sky could be. Tonight we celebrate a truly universal superstar, someone who through their remarkable career on stage, screen, television, and in social justice has helped drive the human exploration of space and taken on fantastic explorations of the far reaches of the galaxy. And given that we occasionally name celestial objects after mythical beings, it should come as no surprise that there's a celestial object, an asteroid, named after tonight's guest of honor. Looking into tonight's sky, you'll see brilliant white Venus in the southwest, the yellowish ringed wonder planet Saturn in the south, and rising later tonight, creamy-hued Jupiter off to the east. When in 1610 Galileo turned that newly invented optical device, the telescope, to the sky, the universe began to reveal its secrets. Jupiter, with its family of moons, suggested to him that our sun is at the center of our solar system, not Earth. Saturn's appearance confounded him. His imperfect view gave the impression that Saturn had ears, not the glorious ring system we know today. And the moon, with its immense mountains and deep craters, telling a story of collision and impact we humans never imagined. Modern astronomers now use space telescopes to bring us deep views of the universe, revealing splendors of structure and color never before seen. Uncountable numbers of galaxies everywhere we look. Light years tall pillars of gas and dust, and stunning images of the everyday lives of stars and nebulae. Our companion dream, to travel among the stars, is about to take its next steps out into space. NASA's planned return to the moon, the Artemis program, will establish continuously crewed research stations at the moon's south pole, where astronauts will develop the skills and technologies required for the next grand expedition to walk on Mars. But until we get there, our spirit of exploration has been kept alive by iconic stories of bold adventurers traveling the galaxy, visiting strange new worlds, going where no one has gone before. The fictional space adventures and the real-life accomplishments of tonight's honoree are so outstanding that the International Astronomical Union, the world's governing body of authority on all things space-related, in 2007 forever adopted his name to be the permanent nom de space of one particular heavenly body asteroid 7307. Join us tonight as we honor the namesake of asteroid 7307 Takei, George Takei, and travel to the Takei asteroid together. Friends, welcome to Mazzoni Center Honors.
inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done. The work's begun. I come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief depressed, confused and mad, well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. I didn't break until right now. I sing of hope, but don't know how. So maybe I can substitute strength, because I'm strong. I'm strong enough. I got through lots of things I didn't think I could. And so did you. I know that's true. And so we sing a song about hope. Though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it, I've gotta try to show the young ones how to find it. Because today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. That's what I hope. See, I said hope. The work begins.
Please welcome our host, Emmy and Peabody Award winner, Soledad O'Brien.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Soledad. I use she, her pronouns, and I am honored to be back here once again in Philadelphia, hosting the second annual Mazzoni Center Honors event at this beautiful Marian Anderson Hall at Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts. Tonight, we honor the beloved and amazing George Takei. Can you please join me in giving another round of applause for the extraordinary and inspirational Dr. Billy Swigert. George Takei is a singular figure in the world, and perhaps in strange new worlds beyond as well. Best known for bringing the character Sulu to life on the original Star Trek television series and a number of Star Trek movies to follow, it would have been the easy path to make a life and make a living, wholly defined by one iconic character, making appearances at conventions and signing photos of himself as a shirtless, late 20-something with a scabbard. But instead, George Takei, while embracing his portrayal as Sulu, has instead made himself the icon, sharing the powerful and tragic story of being wrongly imprisoned with his family in Japanese-American incarceration camps. becoming a trailblazer on social media and an icon with millions of followers, including me, and always serving as a life example, becoming one of the country's leading figures in the continuing fight for social justice, LGBTQ rights, marriage equality. Similarly, Mazzoni Center is a singular organization, not just in Philadelphia, but well beyond. The premier health and wellness center serving Philadelphia's LGBTQ community and Philly's largest LGBTQ nonprofit, Mazzoni Center has evolved over 45 years from being a volunteer organization leading the fight against HIV and AIDS in Philadelphia, as it continues to do today, to a 130 staff center serving over 15,000 clients each year with services including primary medical care, HIV and STI testing, prevention and care, gender-affirming care, behavioral health services, case management, legal services, housing support, a food bank, and community education. For many of the center's clients, there is no other place they would feel safe going for their care. With its dedication to caring for the whole person through comprehensive wraparound services, its outstanding reputation for care, its core principle to never turn away any patient due to a lack of financial resources, and a dedicated and loving staff that represents the community that they serve, Mazzoni Center, like George Takei, is a trailblazer that's never been satisfied resting on its own laurels, but instead continues to seek new and innovative ways to make impact. By attending this magnificent event tonight, you are helping sustain Mazzoni Center's vital services for the future. Tonight, with a lineup that includes Grammy and Emmy Award winners, Tony Award nominees, chart-topping musicians, and Philly VIPs, we look forward to honoring George's life and impact as we prepare to journey to the Takei asteroid together. So, I am pleased to welcome our first guest, an Emmy Award winner best known for more than 25 years as the proprietor of Mr. Hooper's store on Sesame Street, Alan Muraoka.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Soledad, and good evening, everybody. So, in preparation for this evening, I did a deep dive into all things George. And to my surprise, I discovered that we are kindred spirits in so many ways that I thought I would share some of them with you tonight. So, George and I are both Japanese American and were born in Los Angeles. George is a Sansei, or third-generation Japanese American, and I am a fourth-generation Japanese American, which is Yonsei. Thank you. We both graduated from UCLA, go Bruins, and we both got our BA in theater arts. We are both gay Asian Americans, or Gaysians. And we both have husbands who we've been committed to for many years. My husband Herb and I have been together for 32 years, and thank you, but wait. And I believe George and Brad have been together for a whopping 37 years, which is astounding. George and I were both cast on television shows where diversity and equity were a main theme and a driving force. And most importantly, both of our families were forced to leave their homes and to relocate to internment camps during World War II. Both George and my father were around the same age when the war began, and our families were ousted from their property and imprisoned. And of course, the echoes of this trauma continue to resonate even today. But George decided that the best way to heal was to share his story with the world. So George wrote a children's book called My Lost Freedom. And if you'll indulge me tonight, I'd like to read an excerpt from that book. I was just 4 years old when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor on the island of Hawaii on December 7th, 1941, and the lives of all Japanese Americans were suddenly and drastically changed. The next day, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt declared war on Japan. February 19th, 1942, now commemorated as the Day of Remembrance, was a day that we Japanese Americans will never forget. When the president ordered all Japanese Americans on the West Coast to be rounded up and jailed in prison camps. It was all scary and confusing. It was a sweltering, hot, late summer day on Block 6, Barrack 2, Unit F, our new home. Before we went inside, Daddy opened the 3 windows and 1 door to cool the unit down. When we finally entered, a black pot-bellied stove greeted our sweat-drenched family. It was a cruel joke. I began kindergarten at Rower, as we recited with liberty and justice for all. From the Pledge of Allegiance, I could see the fence and a sentry tower right outside my schoolhouse window. So I was too young to know that those words meant the very opposite of being guarded by soldiers in a barbed wire camp. We had been at Rower for a year when the government changed its mind. Now they needed our young men and women to serve in the war. But all of us Japanese Americans had been classified as enemy aliens. How could enemies serve as US soldiers? Everyone in camp over the age of 17 had to answer a list of questions. For Mama, for Daddy, and Mama, those were trick questions, especially for numbers 27 and 28. Daddy and Mama both thought that these 2 questions were stupid. The only honest answers were no and no. Those who answered yes were drafted by the government to fight for America in Europe. My parents, by answering firmly and honestly, were branded disloyal and forced to leave Camp Rower. We would be sent back across the country to a harsher camp called Camp Tule Lake in Northern California. Camp Tule Lake was called a segregation camp for disloyals. It was nothing like the lush and verdant swampland of Camp Rower. Tule Lake was a maximum security prison with 3 layers of barbed wire fences, sentry towers equipped with machine guns pointed right at us, and huge rumbling tank patrols. Tule Lake was the largest of the 10 prison camps and held the most inmates, more than 18,000 people. Half were children like Henry, Reiko, and me. In yet another part of the world, across the Pacific, unimaginable events were taking place as well. The atomic bomb had been dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The 2 bombings were the most ghastly devastation the world had ever experienced. We, imprisoned at Tule Lake, knew nothing about the bombings because newspapers and radios were forbidden. But there were vague, uncertain rumors that were painfully personal. Mama's parents had returned to Japan, to Hiroshima. Mama was frantic with worry. However, we were now adjusting to the news that the hard, terrible war was over. America was celebrating the victory, and suddenly the government was releasing us from the camp as abruptly as we had been imprisoned. After 4 years behind barbed wire, we had nothing because the US government had taken everything. Each of us was given $25 and a one-way ticket to anywhere in the United States. My daddy and mama said, let's start all over in Los Angeles, even though that they had heard that our old hometown was still hostile to Japanese Americans. It was a long night's train journey to Los Angeles. As the train got closer, Mama, Henry, Reiko, and I saw magnificent buildings in the sky, and one soared above them all. That Los Angeles City Hall, Tallest building in city, said Mama. That's where Daddy and Mama married, she told us proudly. On the platform, Henry and I shouted, Daddy. Our enthusiastic hugs knocked him right over. We were all together, a family again, back in our hometown, ready to build on our new future. So George's harrowing story was also adapted into a Broadway musical called Allegiance. And we are lucky enough to have one of the stars of that musical here with us tonight. So please welcome to the stage my dear friend and constant collaborator, the amazing Telly Leung.
Gosh, thank you so much, Alan. I am thrilled to be back here again to celebrate the incredible work that the Mazzoni Center does. I was here last year, but I'm also thrilled to be here to honor my dear friend and colleague, George Takei. Now, George and I first met in 2010 when we were developing the musical Allegiance. We would go on to do many readings and workshops of the show. We eventually would take the show out of town and try it out at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego, and eventually we would open the show on Broadway together in 2015. Now, in the creation of a Broadway show, oftentimes songs are written and songs are cut. And the song that I wanted to sing for you tonight is actually a song that was written for the San Diego production, and it never quite made it to Broadway, but it remains one of my favorite songs, and it's a song called Second Chances. Second Chances is such a great song that I felt like it deserved a second chance tonight here in Philadelphia. I also really wanted to sing this song because, to me, it represents so much of the feeling that I got today walking through and taking a tour of the Mazzoni Center. George and I were both on this tour together of the facilities. We got to witness firsthand the incredible work that is happening at the center. And to me, the song, like the center, represents light where there was dark and hope where there was despair, especially for those most marginalized in our community. So this is Second Chances from Allegiance.
Is all there is to see. The joy that you once knew, a distant memory. When the purpose of each morning is forgotten with each night, and it doesn't seem to matter if you give up or you fight. Look again, that is when your world's about to change. Nothing in life is so permanent that love can't rearrange. Second chances. Life is full of second chances, second songs and second dances, second melodies. For if you only got one shot, if once or nothing's all you've got, your days would just be filled with single moments, single memories. But I believe hearts can conceive of more than one bright, happy ending. Roads may split in two, you can't go down both in advance. We know, and yet we still forget our paths are never so unbending. Life has one chance but two. Life has granted you a second chance.
He brought the house down last year at our inaugural Mazzoni Center Honors. Please welcome back acclaimed singer-songwriter Vance Gilbert.
They worry about having me each year because they know I'm talented, but they know I'm going to run my mouth too. I just want to talk about George for a second. See, growing up black in Philadelphia, which I did, I grew up in Philadelphia and I was black, and I still am black, even though I play folk music. But let's talk about something else. When Star Trek came on and I was a kid, it was amazing to me because, you know, black people watch TV differently than white people. We do. We just, why is he going to talk about black-white? Because, just listen for a second, I'll tell you. We watch TV differently, particularly back then, because there would be a group of people on TV and black people would go, 1, 2, and George, we were so happy that you were on Star Trek. It was so great because we weren't fully evolved as a lot of people are today. We would see Uhura, we'd go 1, and we see George go, yeah, all right, whatever. Because it was close. It's as close as we needed to get. That's what we. In 1945, when George was finally released with his family from the prison camp, which is really what they were, internment is a kind word. It is rumored that this is the first song that he heard upon his release, and it stuck with him hence. Oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze and listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western sky. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon until I lose my senses. I don't like cobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Now, as As you may notice, this is kind of a country version, and that was a version that was playing at the time George was released. But somewhere in the conversation, I didn't realize I was supposed to learn this version. And there were a lot of jazz versions that came out at the time. So that's what I endeavored to learn, was one of the jazz versions.
Give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Oh, fetch me in. Let me rise through the wide open country that I love. Don't fetch me in. Let me be by myself in evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me on forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me work spell my own saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise for pops yet. I want to ride on the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look at hovers and I can't stare at fences. Don't fence me. Oh, don't fence me. Oh, we did Don't fence me, don't fence me. I don't want you to fence me more. Go ahead, ride on that for me. Keep turning it around like that. I don't really care where all my fences. This is why I feel so defenseless. Don't fence me
Contemporary science fiction and fantasy writer N.K. Jemisin writes in her novel, The Stone Sky, how can we prepare for the future if we won't acknowledge the past? George, by having the courage and honesty to share the story of our country's shameful internment of your family and of so many other Japanese Americans through platforms ranging from a children's book to a Broadway musical, you not only illuminate part of the past of which far too few are aware, you also provide a cautionary tale about the type of fear-mongering we've sadly learned has far from disappeared, whether it comes to immigrant populations, our LGBTQ community, or other marginalized persons. Your outspoken leadership reminds us all to be ever vigilant in looking out for ourselves, for one another, and striving to build a more beautiful and welcoming community. The creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, said, "Star Trek was an attempt to say humanity will reach maturity and wisdom on the day that it begins not to just tolerate, but take a special delight in differences in ideas and differences in life forms." Indeed, it was the appearance of actors such as George, along with Nichelle Nichols, that opened incredible doors for viewers and actors alike. I am honored to welcome a young actor that carries on that tradition today. Grammy Award winner, Tony nominee, and Nyota Uhuru on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Celia Rose Gooding.
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? My name is Celia Rose Gooding. I currently play Ensign Nyota Uhura on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Thank you. I am providing some context for the role originated by a longtime friend of George Takei's, the late, great Michelle Nichols. It is such an honor to stand before you tonight as we come together to celebrate a pioneer who has shaped the world of entertainment and representation, the eternally profound George Takei. Now, before discussing the man of the hour, I want to thank the Mazzoni Center for hosting such a fabulous event. Thank you for your, yes, for Mazzoni Center. Thank you for your hard work and continued dedication to the health and well-being of the Philly queer communities and beyond. When I think about trailblazers in the Star Trek universe, my mind immediately turns to Mr. Takei. In a time where Asian American actors were largely invisible or relegated to stereotypical roles, George Takei made history by boldly stepping into the role of Hikaru Sulu. He wasn't just a secondary character. He was a vital member of the Starship Enterprise, a respected officer and a leader in his own right. While Star Trek was groundbreaking in so many ways, Takei's presence on screen was truly revolutionary, especially at a time as turbulent as the middle of the civil rights movement. He showed audiences that an Asian man could be heroic, intelligent, brave, and deeply human, all qualities we should have seen in mainstream television long before then. Takei's legacy is about so much more than the character of Sulu. It's about how he wielded his visibility to fight for a future where more voices, more faces, and more stories were allowed to exist. George Takei is not just a man who broke barriers on television. He's a man who's continued to break barriers in his life. His journey from his internment at 3 different American concentration camps during World War II to becoming an outspoken activist and tireless advocate for social justice, it's nothing short of inspiring. Takei's courage on screen set a powerful precedent for representation, but his courage off screen in standing up for the rights and dignities of Japanese Americans undoubtedly magnifies his impact. He's shown us all how representation is not just about being seen, it's about using that visibility to create lasting change. When talking about his latest picture book, My Lost Freedom, he's quoted saying, "My childhood behind barbed wire fences is the reason I became an activist. It was clear that the stories of the injustices Japanese Americans faced should also be told in a way that young children and their caregivers could understand. Especially in today's political climate, my mission is to convey this chapter of American history to children so that we can all grow up knowing both the fragility and the importance of democracy and our participation in it." Now, it's best heard in your voice, Mr. Takei, but I don't have your signature baritone range, so you will have to forgive me. As a Black person in an industry that has continued to struggle to effectively include people like me, I find so much strength in George's story. His example reminds me that we're not just fighting to be seen, we're fighting to be heard, understood, and valued for all that we are. And though the road to authentic representation is long and winding, leaders like George Takei have proven that change is possible and well worth the fight. Tonight, we honor George Takei not just for his incredible contributions to Star Trek, but for his incredible impact on how we see each other in this world. George, Mr. Takei, thank you for remaining courageous. You are a beacon of hope, showing us the power of representation and proving that the future of entertainment is one where everyone, regardless of background, deserves to boldly go wherever their dreams take them. Thank you. And now I am honored to introduce an extraordinarily talented musician. Please welcome a Japanese Songwriter of the Year winner, making her only live performance in the US this year, Kana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kana. I'm so honored to be here tonight. This is my first time to sing in Philadelphia, so I'm so excited about it. And I just want to say thank you to George for giving me to this opportunity. I'm gonna sing my song, which is called Space. This song is mixed Japanese and English, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.
Philadelphia, this is Kim Russ, also known as Lieutenant Commander Tuvok on Star Trek Voyager. While I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you tonight, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your leadership in breaking down walls, whether for actors like me or in support of our LGBTQ community. In a universe full of paper tigers, you are a genuine warrior. Thank you, George, for your never-ending fight for social justice, and to the Mazzoni Center for your compassionate support of Philadelphia's beautiful LGBTQ community.
From Mazzoni Center's Drag Queens Auxiliary, please welcome Brittany, Lynn, Rocceaux, and Jolene Cuisine.
Pretty, how pretty.
Thank you, Brittany, Lynn, Jolene, Cuisine, and Rocceaux for that dynamic performance from Pacific Overtures, a show in which George starred off-Broadway in 2007. Brittany, Jolene, and Rocceaux, along with the amazing performers in tonight's intergalactic drag pre-show, Phoebe, Morgan, and Hannibal, join us as members of Mazzoni Center's new Drag Queens Auxiliary. George once said, the best way to get people to connect with an issue is to humanize it. You can do that so much more powerfully with music and touch the heart. Mazzoni Center celebrates Philadelphia's beautiful drag community, who bring great smiles to young and old alike, whether at drag brunches, bingos, story hours, or cabarets. And we are grateful to the many drag queens who come to us for their care and for the simple joy that they bring the world. And we stand by them as individuals and performers who are the unfortunate target of hate and derision from those who are less evolved and more close-minded. Of course, discrimination against the LGBTQ community has its own long and shameful past and present. Among the relatively unknown pejorative words used to describe gay men in 18th century Britain was macaroni, used in particular to describe young men who embraced high fashion, including tall powdered wigs and flamboyant outfits with lace and ruffles that some have even described as drag subculture. In fact, the term found its way into a popular American folk song, suggesting that one might stick a feather in their hat and call it macaroni. Just like today, of course, that ridicule was derived from ignorance and discrimination of a cultural phenomenon that, like the drag performers you have and you will see here tonight, is full of beauty and joy. Performing a dance piece called Macaroni that captures a sense of passion and exhilaration, please welcome Philadelphia's premier contemporary ballet company, Ballet X.
Please welcome Mazzoni Center Board Chair Dr. Jeff Doucette and Board Member Dylan Van Dyne.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Jeff Doucette, and I use he, him pronouns, and I'm honored to serve as the president of the Board of Directors of the Mazzoni Center.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dylan Van Dyne. I use he, him pronouns. I'm entering my second year at the Board of Directors at the Mazzoni Center.
So we are just two of the 15 volunteers in the community who play a leadership role in overseeing Mazzoni Center. Another one of our incredible board members, Hart, you're going to see perform in just a few moments. But I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize all of our board members who are in the audience. So if you please stand for a moment of recognition.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you all so much for coming tonight to share this special evening with all of us. What an incredible statement it is for all of these award-winning performers to be sharing the stage together to honor George Takei and to support the work of the Mazzoni Center. George, we want to offer a deep gratitude for you giving us the privilege of honoring you this evening. I know earlier today you had the opportunity to visit us at the Mazzoni Center and to witness firsthand the impact that the center has on so many marginalized members of our community. We have another special group of folks in the audience tonight that we would like to recognize who are supporting Mazzoni Center in a new and creative way. We have a group of 10 Mazzoni Center supporters that are running the Philadelphia Marathon this weekend, raising funds to sustain Mazzoni Center services for some of our most vulnerable community members. As of last Wednesday, the 10 runners had raised north of $16,000 collectively. So please join me in thanking our marathon runners. Several of whom are in the audience tonight, and we just want to wish them, on behalf of the Mazzoni Center, good luck this weekend with the Philadelphia Half Marathon and Full Marathon. While we do have another opportunity for everyone in the audience to provide support tonight, you may be happy to hear it does not involve running a marathon, but rather you're texting fingers.
One of the things that I'm most proud of being part of the Mazzoni Center is our core principle to never turn anyone away due to their lack of financial resources. Approximately 25% of our patients are uninsured, and many of our patients lack even the ability to cover the cost of a copay. Maintaining this core principle at Mazzoni Center, we underwrite over $1 million worth of care every year with no specific source of revenue to address these costs. In other words, these funds come from our operating budget, and while we are committed to making this impact, I'm sure that you can understand this creates an ongoing challenge for our financial sustainability. With this in mind, last year at this event, we launched the Health Equity Fund aimed at creating a distinct source of funding to be used towards addressing the cost of care at the Mazzoni Center for those who are unable to pay. Tonight, for our Mazzoni Center Honors event, we have a very special opportunity to help support these efforts. We have set a goal of raising $50,000 tonight for this very vital fund to support many of our most vulnerable and marginalized patients. We are so fortunate that an anonymous donor has provided the first $10,000 in seed funding for tonight's fundraising efforts. So tonight, we're looking to you to raise $40,000 to help us reach our goal. This challenge is an opportunity to make a huge impact.
In the center of your program book and on the screen behind me, you'll see a QR code. While we've asked you to turn off your phones during the event tonight, this is an opportunity, and we will invite you explicitly to turn your phone on right now and to join us in making your commitment to meet this special challenge. Please take a moment at this time to turn your phone on, to scan the code, and to make your pledge. Whether you can pledge $50, $500, or $5,000, your contribution will play a vital and necessary role in Mazzoni Center patients in need of service. We ask you consider giving generously, and in an evening filled with beautiful music and performers, we believe that these 60 seconds of silence can be an equally powerful moment.
Leave it to the trainer to keep the timer. So thank you. If you didn't have the opportunity to complete your pledge in those quick 60 seconds, please know that the opportunity will extend well beyond this evening's event. And now, I ask you to turn off your phones once again and join me in welcoming one of the most powerful and recognizable voices in pop music history and two-time Grammy nominee, the extraordinary Martha Wash.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
incredible opportunity to contribute to support Mazzoni Center's Health Equity Fund. It is a long-standing commitment of the Mazzoni Center to never turn away a patient in need due to lack of financial resources. You heard that mentioned just a moment ago. And this commitment results in Mazzoni Center underwriting $1 million every year in care. Mazzoni Center's deep and unflinching commitment to health equity extends in so many directions, from its commitment to ensuring that Mpox vaccines are equitably distributed so that those without privilege had equal opportunities for access, to its innovative Wednesday evening adolescent drop-in program, providing young people with the opportunity to meet with medical, behavioral health, and legal staff without an appointment, without concern about the ability to pay, and knowing that they will be in a confidential, safe, and caring environment. So I encourage each of you, if you haven't already, to help reach tonight's goal by scanning that QR code. You heard all about it. It's in your program. And making your contribution, whether it's tonight or in the days to come, we would truly appreciate it. In this moment, as you all know, your support is needed more than ever. Our universe is a continual discovery of connections between one another, between cultures and beliefs, between our shared causes, and sometimes even between songs. In curating tonight's tribute to George Takei, among the songs that the producers were anxious to include was a song that they had learned was one of George's favorites, Over the Rainbow, along with a song they felt described George quite aptly, David Bowie's Starman. You might not realize that those seemingly disparate songs are in fact intimately connected, as David Bowie wrote Starman in part as an expression of his love for Judy Garland, with the octave leap in the chorus of Starman identical to that in the chorus of Over the Rainbow. Now, this might be the first that you're learning this, but it's one of those things that once you hear this musical connection, you're gonna hear it always. Performing both of these cosmically connected songs, please welcome a star of Broadway's Here Lies Love and current member of the Broadway cast of Hamilton, Reanne Acasio, followed by the frontman of the Bongos and our Mazzoni Center Honors producer, Richard Barone.
look up to. Thank you.
Hello, George. And hello, supporters of the amazing Mazzoni Center. This is Scott Bakula, or perhaps you know me better as Captain Jonathan Archer from Star Trek Enterprise. I'm joining you as a last-minute substitute for Rosario Dawson, who is unfortunately unable to be here tonight, but sends her love to George and to all of you. I wish I could be there in person, but as you can see from where I'm standing, I was recently called upon to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life, new civilizations, and to boldly go where no man, whoa, check that, where no human has gone before. As George knows, as much as anyone, that kind of order can be hard to say no to. But as I prepare to meet new civilizations, new races, perhaps even new types of beings, I'm deeply conscious of the importance of language. That's also why I've made it a point to learn the Klingon language. Now let's keep that a secret. I never know who I might encounter on my travels, but I like to know what they're saying. As you prepare to travel tonight to the Takei asteroid, I want to teach you just a little language so you will be better equipped to introduce yourselves in a welcoming and inclusive tone to whomever you might meet on your journey. So, a quick lesson for all of you here. Should you encounter some Klingons and wish to introduce yourself by identifying your pronouns, if you use she and her pronouns, simply say, hurrah. For those of you who use she and her pronouns, try to repeat that. Ready? Hurrah. Now here's the great part. If you use he and him pronouns, simply say, hurrah. Try that. Hurrah. Sounds pretty similar, doesn't it? In fact, it's exactly the same. And that's because sexual gender is absolutely non-existent in Klingon language, recognizing that in our universe, there is an infinite spectrum of gender diversity, beyond any simplified distinctions more common in a, dare I say it, less evolved race. As our Vulcan friends say in their own language, Kolu Shah, infinite diversity in infinite combinations. So let's all say it together. Hurrah! And if you identify with they and them pronouns, simply shift to cha. Congratulations. You're ready for your own voyage to the Takei asteroid. And as they say in Klingon, kapla, success. Thank you, Mazzoni Center, for your life-saving care for our LGBT community. They need you more now than ever before. And congratulations to George for your life of leadership in breaking down barriers, for walking the walk, and for building a more beautiful world and universe for all of us. See you in the stars.
As we prepare to journey to new worlds together, it is also important to acknowledge the sense of safety, of comfort, of affirmation that comes with being in an environment that is built around one's own sensibilities, one's own sense of safety, of being both welcomed and recognized. One of the many things that makes Mazzoni Center extraordinarily special is that conscious and intentional sense of community, of not only being seen and heard, but being listened to, understood, appreciated. I want to take a moment to acknowledge and honor the staff of Mazzoni Center, who hold so many of the community through struggles and triumphs of their journeys. I'm told that one of the reasons that so many see Mazzoni Center as the only place that they would choose to come for care is their recognition that Mazzoni Center is a home where they can come to be fully confident that they'll feel both respected and represented. that they'll be cared for by staff who not only share their concerns, but often share their life experiences. Indeed, more than 75% of Mazzoni Center staff are members of the LGBTQ community. 1/3 of the staff identify as trans, non-binary, or gender expansive. And 100% of Mazzoni Center staff have a deep and tangible passion for the community we serve. Many of those staff members are here in the audience tonight, and I would like to ask them to stand, and I'd like to ask all of you to please join me in thanking them for the care that they provide each and every day. Please stand, staff members. Captain Jean-Luc Picard is quoted as saying, "Someone once told me that time was a predator that stalked us all of our lives. I rather believe that time is a companion who goes with us on the journey and reminds us to cherish every moment because it will never come again. What we leave behind is not as important as how we've lived." As we journey through and explore the connection between time and space, please join me in welcoming an outstanding quartet of artists from one of Philadelphia's most renowned chart-topping bands, the Hooters, Eric Bazilian and Rob Hyman, star of Broadway's Hadestown and Spider-Man, Reeve Carney, and the best anthem singer in National Hockey League history and member of the Mazzoni Center Board of Directors, Lauren Hart.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight for such an amazing cause. I don't have much more to say than that other than I'm honored to be here. And to play with these guys.
Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing and caressing me.
Thank you. Please welcome Mazzoni Center's President and Executive Officer, Sultan Shakir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sultan Shakir. Apparently, my pronoun is hara, and I have the pleasure of being the President and Executive Officer of the Mazzoni Center. I love you too. It's truly a pleasure to be here tonight to honor the one and only George Takei. I first want to thank the amazing staff, volunteers, and board members, including our very own Lauren Hart, who make the Mazzoni Center the amazing place of love and support that it is. Can we give a round of applause for our staff, board, and volunteers in the Mazzoni Center? Thank you. And I also want to thank the amazing performers who came here to join me in honoring George today. Thank you. And so I am honored to be presenting this award on behalf of an entire community. A community that even today celebrates that one of our most honored holidays was sparked by the throwing of a brick. I'm honored to present this award this evening to one of the people who helped inspire and help keep the flame of resistance alive. We're a community that is made up of people for whom you can rarely know who we are just by seeing us with your eyes. Because we are deeper than just our physical form. We're a people of artists and scientists, scholars and lovers and fighters. A community which is one of the greatest challenges we have ever faced staring at us right now. Looking us in the eyes, asking if we're up for it. Asking if we have it within us to not only resist, but to fight and to win. As a community, we hear all the time that resistance is futile. Yet we know that resistance and struggle is who we are. We are a community that knows that resistance is our strength, and that resistance is the energy that allows us to climb the mountains that we have ahead. And so I want to be clear, resistance is not futile. Thank you. And to George, I want to say that if there's one thing that you've proven time and time again, it's just that. We've heard about your story that includes harsh realities that began when you were just a child. And instead of letting that experience confine you, you transformed it into a lifelong mission of resilience, compassion, and justice. You've shown us that when faced with injustice, the response should never be to surrender the ship, but to resist and to do it with a core that is filled with humor, heart, and light. That same spirit of defiance and courage is what we strive for every day at Mazzoni Center, where we work to ensure that everyone has the freedom to live fully and authentically, no matter the obstacles society throws in our path. And George, you've embodied that lesson both on and off the screen. Whether it's fearlessly speaking out against anti-LGBTQ policies, challenging xenophobia, or using social media to show that even humor can be a powerful act of defiance, you've shown us that resistance, far from being futile, is necessary and joyful. George, when the world gets heavy, few things lift our spirits, quite like the perfectly timed, oh my moments. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, there's always room for a little bit of laughter and humanity. So tonight, we honor you for your courage, your wit, and your lifelong dedication to turning resistance into an art form. You've taught us that the true frontier is not in the stars, but in standing up for what's right with an unwavering spirit.
Thank you very much. I am transported and I am beaming. It has been a magnificent evening of a galaxy of human stars, talented stars, and believe me, I am truly beaming and truly grateful. This morning, I went on a tour of the Mazzoni Center facilities. We walked under the words Mazzoni Center of a 4-story building, and I walked into a modest lobby area. But facing me in that lobby was a portrait of a distinguished-looking young man wearing a lab coat. Underneath it was a brass plaque that said, Dr. Peter Mazzoni. I was told he was one of the founders of the Mazzoni Center and a member of the founding board of directors. And below that, on the same marker, were the words, to cure sometimes, to relieve often, to comfort always. Peter Mazzoni. And those words, elegantly simple words, stands for an incredible, factual, true, existing facility, people, and service, the Mazzoni Center. The words are simple, but what I saw was something massive, a philosophy and a team of people dedicated, compassionate, rendering service to those in need. And these words, to cure sometimes, to relieve often, to comfort always, is what they represent. The Mazzoni Center is a massive operation. Massive in its comprehensive, richly comprehensive menu of services. In that 4-story building is collected activities that were scattered through Philadelphia. Legal counsel, psychiatric service. I looked to the right and there was an open door
foods distribution. I saw shelves with brown paper bags and labels like canned salmon, canned chicken soup. The vastness and the comprehensiveness is all done by 130 people in that building on different floors. And it's personalized, individual, single, one-on-one counseling facilities. Nothing massive. And I'm told their philosophy is the people there do not wait in the waiting rooms. They are ushered right to the service. It is an amazing achievement by the Mazzoni Center, and I am full of applause. And I am humbled by what they do. I am so humbled, but also so grateful that this kind of service is being rendered. And that's being made possible by all of you with your financial support and the many, many hundreds more that are not with us this evening. I am full of gratitude to the people, the 130 people working there. And I'm grateful to the people that make it all possible. I am not honored. I'm being made to feel how grateful the people of this Philadelphia area, the greater Philadelphia area, are with the kind of service that needs to be replicated throughout the country. And so thank you all very much for what you are supporting. You are an amazing group of people to support an amazing institution that is giving vitally needed service. And I thank you all very much. For you non-Trekkies, this means live long and prosper.
Thank you, George. And now, friends, it's my pleasure to introduce a Grammy Award-winning actress and singer who, perhaps most importantly tonight, portrays Captain Carol Freeman on Star Trek Lower Decks, Dawnn Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here tonight, and I got to tell you my George Takei story. All right. Back in the 60s, I was told there was an original series called Star Trek. That's what I was told. I wasn't born until 2019. Anyway. But here I am, this little girl, and one of the very few people of color I saw on television was this amazing vision of an African-American woman who was a badass, who was smart, who could handle her own with anyone else on that starship, and her name was Nichelle Nichols. Now, the beauty of the Roddenberry legacy that continues to this day is showing what the future can be like if we just take a moment to consider each other, give each other credit, treat each other with integrity and respect, and everyone can work in excellence. After I got over saying, okay, I can live in the future and not die in the first 5 minutes, that's amazing. There was this, okay, a lot of amazing things have been said about George and his journey, and all of it is absolutely true, and I am humbled. But the truth is, I watched him because he was a hottie. Oh my God, was Sulu sexy or what? My hormones were raging and I had no idea what a hormone was. And honestly, I couldn't make up my mind who I had a bigger crush on. Whether it was Sulu or Chekhov, I didn't care. Either one of them. Just let them speak. The sounds of their voices just send shivers up my spine. The only other Asian actor I saw on television at the time was Bruce Lee in The Green Hornet. So to watch George Takei on camera week after week, being a part of saving the galaxy, of making the universe a better place to live, it was inspirational for me. And here we are today, doing our best, enough of us, to believe in the best in others, regardless of their color, their culture, their creed, their age. And I think that is a lesson that we have to continue to carry. I was blessed when I got older and came into Hollywood that Nichelle Nichols and I became friends. There are no words to express my appreciation and the way I honor her and the way she came to honor me. Nichelle used to throw birthday parties every summer for Leos. She was not a Leo, but she had a lot of friends who were. So, to my glorious surprise, one day I'm in Nichelle's backyard and I'm getting myself an adult beverage, and I turn and say, oh, it's George Takei and Walter Koenig. Which one shall I kiss first? Sulu, Chekhov, Sulu, Chekhov. So I kissed them both. The love, the joy, sharing the time on the picket lines when we were all fighting for equality and better pay in SAG-AFTRA. George Takei walks the walk. He walks the walk, and it is an honor to be here to celebrate you, sir. So I'm now going to sing a song that I believe is a favorite of yours, but I'm going to sing it to George and to Brad. It's called Evergreen. George is a hottie, George is a hottie, George is a hottie.
George is a hottie. Well, what an extraordinary night this has been. From music to dance to spoken word, we have honored George's extraordinary and continuing life story as an actor, an advocate, an icon in moving and powerful ways. It has been a personal honor for me to share this night with all of these amazing performers, with George, with his wonderful husband Brad, with all of you. And most importantly, at a time when the LGBTQ community and the trans community in particular is increasingly targeted and marginalized by those with hate in their hearts, I have felt privileged once again to be able to provide my own support to Mazzoni Center, an organization that set an extraordinary and groundbreaking standard in providing heart-centered, whole-person care for the LGBTQ community, those living with HIV, those on beautiful gender journeys, those wanting nothing more than to live their lives as their full selves. Mazzoni Center is a singular organization, and it's your partnership that makes the work possible. So simply put, your support changes and saves lives, enabling Mazzoni Center and its beautiful community to, if I can borrow a phrase, live long and prosper. I am now pleased to introduce the executive producer of tonight's event, Mazzoni Center's Executive Development and Communications Officer, and my friend, David Weisberg.
Good evening, everybody. My name is David. I use he, him pronouns. I don't remember the Klingon already. I just want to say some very, very quick thank yous. I want to thank our amazing sponsors tonight, including our lead sponsors, Free People, Gilead, Jefferson Health, Philadelphia Department of Public Health, Walgreens, our accommodation sponsor, the Sofitel, our media sponsor, Philadelphia Gay News. Thank you so much. We have a lot of course we can applaud for them. We have a lot of amazing staff at Mazzoni Center. Tonight, I just want to thank my dream team in development and communications, with whom it is just a joy to do work like this. Chelsea Switzer, Sean Laughlin, and Timothy Green. I want to thank our amazing performers who give up their time to be with us, and our incredible production team, my two partners in putting an event like this together, our producer, Richard Barone, and our ridiculously talented music director on the keyboards, Nick Wilder. And quickly to introduce the rest of our very talented musicians, on keyboard, Jordan Namir, on guitar, Michael Herlihy, on bass, Sarah Favinger, on drums and percussion, Noah Hadlin, on violin, Juliet Kang, on violin, Mark Rivetti, on viola, Bertie Tang, on cello, Priscilla Lee. By the way, those four string players from the Philadelphia Orchestra, and our trumpet players from the Opera Philadelphia Orchestra, Stephen Heltzer and Brian Kuzik. I want to thank the great team at the Kimmel Center, all of you, our supporters, our clients, our partners, our community, and to the magnificent George Takei. I understand that when Leonard Nimoy came up with the Vulcan salute, he did so remembering something out of a faith tradition that he and I share, this symbol for the priestly blessing. And so, George, in thanking you tonight, I want to bestow upon you that priestly blessing in humanistic terms. May the stars shine brightly on you and protect you. May the spirits of the universe be as kind and generous to you as you have been to others. And may the infinite expanse of time and space bestow favor upon you and grant you peace. And now, to close us out tonight, because you know if you were here last year, we always have a big finale. The one thing we didn't mention about George tonight is that he is a great Anglophile. He has a love for England, and while we could not get a member of the actual royal family here tonight for the finale, we did the next best thing. King George III from the touring company of Hamilton, Justin Sargent.
We'll search for tomorrow and